Hi everyone, Nick McDonald speaking from Trade with Precision, looking here at the US dollar index for this week's currency market commentary. Very similar to the Russell 2000, which I just did the update video on, where the Russell is breaking out to new highs now and has no resistance overhead in the way. And on the complete flip side, the dollar index here is breaking out to new lows and has no support in the way. So let's start from the monthly chart. We've obviously broken down through this level, which we talked about for quite some time. As we approached, we discussed the probability was for a break, and now we've got a probability of a continuation, and we've really done that. We've broken down now to 73, closed the week at 73.10. In fact, closed the month as well, being the last day of the month on Friday. So a good solid close down there, the monthly chart, and just showing no signs of pulling back at this stage, other than being a bit overextended from the averages. The weekly chart, though, we've just had a pullback. We got this little pullback intra-week back into the averages. We're now pulling down away again. And again, it looks strong to the downside. There's nothing much saying it should be going back up at this stage. It looks strong. It looks like continuing. Of course, we will get a pullback at some stage. That's as certain as throwing a ball in the air. We know that the ball will come back to the ground. We know the price will come back to the averages, but it's a case of timing. And right now, I'm not seeing any signs that it should be coming back soon. There's just the one sign, which is it's overextended from the averages, but we need multiple signs to say right now it's actually likely to go back that way. At the moment, there's just that one factor. Daily chart as well, having had a pullback the week before last, pullback to the averages, broke down again. I'll be looking to sell such pullbacks again and continue to do so, which I've been doing here for quite some time. Any pullback back into the averages, I'll be looking for a red candle and to time my entry back in for a short to the downside, because there's nothing stopping this price from going lower based on the dollar index. Now, with not as much to say there on the dollar index, let's have a look at some of the other currencies, because I think the European currencies are the one thing that might show just something in the way. And let's start with euro dollar being the major weighting in the dollar index. If we just glance at the daily chart and the weekly charts, it looks pretty good. Just here, when I say, it's very, very subtle. When I said before, ever so slightly a sign of something in the way, we're approaching a big number here of 1.5, and it's just been a bit of a support resistance area in the past, and it's an area to be aware of. So we've got a previous touch here, some previous touches through here, and it's a big number of 1.5 and quite a significant and psychological level. So we'll be watching 1.5 and seeing how the euro reacts if we can get up to that level, and it might be a point there where if the euro dollar turns around, it gives the dollar index enough to have a bit of a turnaround and a bit of a pullback as well. That's not too far away, although there's still a good 120-point rally or so, 160-point rally even, to get up and test that level before seeing if we can turn around. Another one of the European currencies which is showing similar signs is on cable and GBP USD. You can see if we get up towards this 1.7 level, 1.7 is major. So on 1.5 on euro dollar was somewhat significant, but 1.7 here on cable is major. It's a pretty decent way away still, but we'll be really watching that one closely to see what cable can do if price touches that level. In the shorter term, though, we've even got some resistance through here at current levels, pretty much where we closed the week last week, up around 1.67, so about 300 points away from our, the big figure up here of 1.7, but even at this level. So anywhere between now and there, we've pretty much got good resistance. And if we do see cable push up through there and close above 1.7, that would be significant. But right now, we have something in the way, potentially giving cable a move back down, therefore the US dollar a move up. And however, bucking this trend is dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, another European currency, of course, with the Swiss franc, very, very closely correlated to the dollar index and just continuing to push down and nothing in the way stopping price from going lower. Last one to look at here, an Asian currency, we'll look at dollar yen. I said last week how if we got this monthly candle close bearish and then a breakdown through it, that it would be a good sign of a move to the downside, and we've now had the weekly bearish close, and we've literally just in the last few minutes opened this week's candle, and if we can just break down through the low of that candle, so literally just looking for a breakdown through the low of here, I'll be looking for a move to the downside at least in proportion to the size of that candle. So I'll be looking for a move back down to test these kind of levels, back down maybe towards the low of the spike, but looking for the US dollar to continue to weaken here against the Japanese yen, which is certainly indicating a continuation to the downside on dollar index. So coming back to the dollar index and just wrapping things up quickly, This is a very strong downtrend. It's a downtrend which is likely to continue. There's very, very few signs of it changing direction. The main sign of it changing direction would be cable, but it's probably not enough weighting on its own to necessarily say it's going to change direction. Euro dollar would be a different factor if euro dollar does start to find resistance, but even then it's a little bit away before euro dollar is likely to find resistance. So in that respect, I think the dollar index is likely to continue down for this week. I'll be keeping an eye on any pullbacks. I won't be concerned about pullbacks. I'll be looking to sell pullbacks to the averages, and I'll be just keeping a close eye on euro dollar just to see where that gets to and the major levels, and if that's likely to have any major impact on the dollar index. For now, no major sign of that. This is looking like a good downward trend. It's likely to keep on going down until we see otherwise. Happy trading all, have a wonderful week's trading, and I look forward to speaking to you on next week's update.